All right, we're doing it. What's happening, everybody, from all the way up in the Hudson Valley? That's right, the Hudson Valley. I'm Ivan Rodriguez. This is another episode of the Cycleshack. This is episode number 44. Thank you for joining me. Check out the show, the Cycleshack Podcast at gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page at the Cycleshack Podcast. Click the link to take you to my webpage so you can read the blogs and see the show. You can also check us out on YouTube at the Cycleshack Podcast. The shows will be broadcasting on YouTube right after they air right now on twitch.tv. So thank you to twitch.tv for airing the show live right now. It's Sunday night, 8:45 p.m. on the 24th of March. We got a couple of sponsors we want to thank. Of course, our host platform, our main sponsor, Anchor.fm, the only way to podcast. That's Anchor.fm. Check them out. I'm sure you heard the commercial before this podcast started that I recorded. And you also have a new sponsor. Welcome and thank you to The Black Tux. That's theblacktux.com for all your tuxedo needs. Check them out, theblacktux.com. What's up, folks? I'm going to thank you one more time for joining me. I want to tell you that I appreciate you and thank you for supporting the show. I've gotten some great comments, gotten some good comments, and I want to give one more plug to someone who's doing it right. And I want to, you know what? I don't want to get this wrong. I want to make sure I do this man some justice because he deserves some recognition. I love what I see. I love what I believe we should support not only our local Harley-Davidson dealerships, you know what I mean? I'm not going to front. I complain and I bitch and moan that they're expensive, and they are. I'm still complaining and bitching and moaning about it. I just took my my only bike in for service. But I think I'm going to be visiting this man going forward, and that's Mr. A.J. DeMauro. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, man. I don't want to butcher your last name. That's A.J. DeMauro, owner of Armsco Custom Cycles in Totowa, New Jersey. ARMSCO Custom Cycles, Armsco Custom Cycles in Totowa, New Jersey. Check him out. Mr. A.J. DeMauro will provide you with old school quality service. He does Harleys right. Follow him on Instagram at Armsco Custom Cycles and keep up with his latest happenings. Custom installation, pipes, headers, performance tuning, ape bars, tires, LED, quality service, repairs, detailing, and a whole lot more. Custom paintwork by J.O. Customs. Check out his website. That's armscocustomcycles.com. Once again, that's Armsco Custom Cycles, located in Totowa, New Jersey. And, I was discussing this with my wife. AJ, thank you, man, for being a proud listener of the show. I appreciate you, man, definitely. And we'll be meeting you soon. Like I said, man, I'm gonna message you my digits so we can give each other a call, and we'll talk, man, before we hook up. And I want to interview him again. You got to support your independent motorcycle shops. This guy's doing it right. So I was discussing with my wife that what we were talking about, and one of the topics on the show today is going to be warranties and warranty servicing. And I'm a nut when it comes to that because I wasn't going to get into the topic right this second, but screw it, we're on it. Harley is big on making you fear the worst with your bike. Like, you gotta get the warranty. It's 2 years. It's 2 years. You buy the bike, it's a 2-year warranty from the moment it left the factory, not from the moment you bought it. So if you got let's say it's 2019, right? And you just bought a 2018 that's been sitting there since February of 2018. You bought it in February, March of 2019. You're like, all right, I got a 2-year warranty. 1 year of that warranty already ran out, brother. You're done for. That means next year, this time, you're going to spend at least $1,000 on another warranty if you want to extend it for a minimum of 2 years. You could do 1 year, but then they break it down to you like this. If you do 2 years, it's a savings because 1 year is going to cost you $1,200, 2 years is going to cost you $1,400, et cetera, et cetera. But if you buy the 5-year plan at $2,800, that's a savings of XYZ ABC 1 2 3, and I got your money. Okay? while I don't find a problem with that, if you can afford it, different strokes for different folks, no problem. But my problem with that is that I already paid the Harley tax, and they make you worry, man. When I had a jet bike, I bought a Vulcan, and excuse the term, I don't mean that. I don't want to defend my statement, but again, just to be politically correct, when I bought my metric cruiser, I didn't have to worry about it. I had a what was it, a 1-year manufacturer's or 90-day manufacturer's warranty. Away it went. There was no, you have to purchase another warranty. Whatever broke, whatever was wrong with it, it was on my dime. So the problem is that Harley bike, the metric cruisers can be just as expensive depending on what goes on it. But again, Harley instills that fear on you that you got to get that warranty. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. So I went out and I purchased a warranty through Harley. So me and my wife are making the decision now on her bike. She has a 2017. I have a 2016. So I went ahead last year and purchased a warranty on my bike, and I have another year on it. So getting back to AJ's point, I could take it to AJ and get it serviced. My only thing is that I want them to service it only because I got 2 little things going on with the bike. 2 minor things that I know for a fact are under warranty and I shouldn't have to pay for, and they're minor, but that's what the warranty is for. So I'm taking it to them so that they can take care of that stuff, and I made a decision. I'm going to let the warranty drop, and I'm going to take it and support my independent bike shop, and that's going to be, even though he's out in Total War, New Jersey, we're going to give Mr. AJ a visit, man. We're going to have a talk with him. We're going to see what he can do. We're going to see what he's all about, and we'll go from there. So again, one of the subjects I was going to talk about today was the warranties. And, like I said, Harley-Davidson always puts that fear in you. You got to get the warranty. You didn't get the warranty? Are you crazy? It's bumper to bumper, tire to tire. Harley takes care of everything. While that's not, it's pretty much true, but it's no different than any other bike, man. I don't know. It's just Harley always convinces you some way, somehow, that you got to get that extended warranty, especially if you bought a brand new bike. Come on, man. It's a 2016. We're in 2019. It's only 4 years old. You only got 13,000 miles on that bike. It's brand new, man. You need a warranty, dude. You need a warranty. It's up to you, man. I come to find out that I got my copy of the Harley-Davidson warranty right here. And if you look at it real good, what does that say? Protective. So it's not even through Harley-Davidson, ladies and gentlemen. It's through a third-party company. Extra Ride Power Sports. Protective Asset Protection. It's the name of the company. So Harley-Davidson, it looks like they struck a deal with Protective Asset Protection, and they're covering it with their Extra Ride Power Sports. But Harley-Davidson is calling it their ESP coverage, the Harley-Davidson Extended Service Plan. While it is an extended service plan, it's through these people. And you can check these people out at protectiveassetprotection.com. You're going to see it on the notes. There's a link to it. Okay? And you can read what it's all about. But basically, it goes like this. Power Sports. We have been serving power sports dealerships since 2001. Our Extra Ride Power Sports program is designed to increase customer satisfaction and provide peace of mind. The program includes pickup and delivery reimbursement. On-road vehicles also receive the following benefit from the program: rental vehicle reimbursement, meals and lodging reimbursement, emergency roadside assistance, optional touring, tire and wheel and towed trailer coverage. Availability may vary by state. In addition, gap coverage are also available. So what in the world? Why would I get that sound right now? And that's because I got this up. Okay, sorry about that. I got my computer software going and something played in the background, a notification. And that's another thing, guys. Apologies for the show not coming up when I said it was going to come up. The first time around, I was having technical difficulties. I had gremlins in my computer software. I didn't have a virus. It was just something acting up that I had to make some changes on. And the software was acting up. So we had to figure it out, fix it, and here we are. Back. I had to lower my flag, by the way, my freedom flag. I got tired of just seeing the bottom of it. My freedom, my American eagle with the American flag. But anyway, folks, peace of mind is important to a lot of people, man. And I just feel you get a little bit bamboozled with that. And I just think anywhere you go, you should have enough money to cover yourself. I've gone to Canada, I've gone to Maryland, and all these rides that I go on. I always gotta, you always gotta have the cash. You go somewhere, you gotta have money. So make sure you got enough money for, towing and all that other stuff, and make sure the bike is maintained and looked at before you go, and check it out. That's very important. Should you get a warranty, that's totally up to you. You know what I mean? If you're the type of person, and I've heard recommendations, and this recommendation sounds good. If you're the type of person that blows through maybe 20,000 miles a season and you go long distances and you ride all year round, maybe an extended warranty plan is good for you because you're always on the road. I'm not always on the road. I'm not a seasonal biker. I'll ride as long as I can. This year I just didn't ride as much as I wanted to or as much as I liked to because of being busy, work, etc. But for the most part, it's all on what you want to do. And I had a year warranty when I bought the bike, left on the bike. I last year then purchased a 2-year extended warranty, 3 years. So, I'm going to probably not let it go. I'm probably going to let it go. I'm sorry. My wife's deciding on whether she wants to let it go on her bike. But I probably think we are. You know what I mean? Again, we'll just take it to the shop. And we know what it is, too. It's not only that Harley-Davidson puts that fear in you. It's the prices of things to get done on a Harley, man. It's expensive. And I'm sorry, I'm crinkling paper here, and I shouldn't. It's also, maybe if I found an independent shop like Armsco Custom Cycles that I could work a deal out with, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have that fear because I can take it in and say, hey, dude, I'm going on this big trip, man. Could you look it over and it needs an oil change? And I'm not going to pay $400. Every time I take my bike into Harley, that's the magic number, $400. 400 clams, 400 smackaroos, buckaroos, and I hate it. I hate it. You know what? I was also thinking that if Harley was smart to make a dollar on something, maybe some independent dealers should pick up on this if they know how to manage it. If they got somebody who's good with the accounting and can keep up with it, start a membership program for the riders. Say, hey, if you're a dedicated customer, join our membership program. You pay $100 a month. That $100 a month goes directly in a bank, and that builds your bank up for your service. So if you start this $100 in October when you're going to start storing the bike, or when you're going to ride it less, by the time March rolls around, you should have about $600. That's enough for a service, a new tire, maybe some brakes, and you can keep it rolling on through the summer. $100 a month. During the season, drop it down to $50 a month. And then on the off season, $100 a month again. But again, it's not something that you're committing to mandatorily. It should be something that should be allowed by the service provider, by Harley or by an independent shop, so that, one, they get money up front and they get to thrive, but they just have to provide the services when the bike comes in, and they have to know what customers paid what. That's the tricky part, but it can be done. And I think that will give a lot of people peace of mind, at least for when they have to get their bike serviced annually or twice a year, 3 times a year, etc. And that'll keep more bikes in shape and good health. You know what I mean? Mechanically sane. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know. It just seems like a good idea to me. So, Dee Snider. You know who Dee Snider is. Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it anymore. Dee Snider is announcing the date for this year's okay, I just went on his notes. It's called Melissa's Wish. His annual ride on Lido Beach. He announced the date. Come on. All right, March 15th, 2019 will be Dee Sniders' annual, registration opens March 15th. The ride is September 29th, 2019 for Melissa's Wish. Discounted price is $25 for rider, $15 for passenger. First 300 riders registered get a free Barely Legal 17 ride patch. I don't know what that means. Dedicated express lane for pre-registered riders. No waiting online the day of the ride. Special parking at the front of the ride for pre-registrants. Simply pull in, register at the booth, pick up your package. All pre-registered riders will enter into a lottery to win a pair of concert tickets each month supplied by our partners WBAB. So that's Dee Snider, who has his charity ride for, it's called the Melissa's Wish, providing care to the caregivers. melissaswish.org. Check it out. DeeSniderRide.com. Haven't made one of those yet, but I always see information on it on YouTube, and it looks fun, man. A lot of people attend that thing. A lot of people. I'm all over the place here, so my notes are a little bit bananas. So I posted up today on the Facebook page on the Cycleshack that another legend in the motorcycle world was lost. One of the first. That was my favorite. Arlen Ness was another, not so much favorite, and I hate to say the term, but he was one of my well-liked bike builders. I loved watching Biker Build Off back in the early 2000s. But Indian Larry was by far my most favorite motorcycle maker, designer. I loved his bikes. I just loved the way they looked. My second most favorite is Jesse James. Loved the Jesse James choppers. Loved that West Coast look. And this year, unfortunately, on the 22nd, on Friday, we lost Arlen Ness. That's right. Mr. Arlen Ness himself passed away on March 22nd, 2019. He was born July 12th, 1939. He was an American motorcycle designer, entrepreneur, and best known for his custom motorcycles. Ness received acclaim for his designs, which are most noted for their unique body styles and paintwork. He was born in San Leandro, California. And prior to his career as a motorcycle builder, he worked as a pin setter at a local bowling alley, post office worker, and a furniture mover. He competed in semi-pro bowling leagues, which earned him his money to buy his first motorcycle, a 1947 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead, that he later customized, and away it went. Arlen Ness was married to his wife, Beverly, for over 59 years until his death. So another legend, which legends never die. We all know that. Arlen Ness. So sleep in peace, my friend. Thank you for all the beauty you've given us with your motorcycle designs. And his son, Corey Ness, is still doing his thing. And I believe they have a granddaughter. He has a granddaughter. Well, I think Corey Ness's son. Corey Ness's daughter, who's building choppers also. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that was the last I seen of it. So I kind of mentioned something on the Facebook page, and I kind of don't like getting political. I don't like getting into topics that are pretty much hopeless topics. They're the topics that when you get into people, like politics. When you discuss politics with people, you don't win. There's no winner. There's always losers. You can't win. Red, blue, Democrat, Republican. Everybody's got their opinion, and everybody wants to fist fight after. That's why I don't discuss politics. We can't have intelligent discussions nowadays about these things. Not like back in the day. But, I did see something that kind of bothered me, and it has to do, and I kind of caught people's attention and got some comments on the Second Amendment. My discussion on the right to bear arms, and I put on the Facebook page, are our Second Amendment rights in jeopardy? Check out this new court ruling that will start a chain reaction of events, and it will. It will. You know what, folks? While I do believe that we all have the right to defend our lives, our homes, and our families, I'm not going to use the Second Amendment. I'm not going to do the cliche thing and it's the Second Amendment. It is. But the Second Amendment has always been subject to interpretation. I don't argue it. I don't debate on it. I lived in a city where you couldn't own weapons. You could, or rather, excuse me, weapon's not the correct term. You could not own a sidearm, a firearm, a pistol. So, unless you owned a business, that was New York City. I had no need, although I've gotten into plenty of situations that I wish I had one. I've never needed a firearm. I don't need one now. But I believe it's everyone's right to have one. And as long as you own one responsibly, legally, and you are of sound body and mind, you're not harming anyone. It's for your personal protection at home, for your family. Good for you. I don't believe government should intervene in that. Again, as long as you do your due diligence, you have your paperwork in order, you got your stuff straight, and you're not being mischievous. So we should, as long as you own responsibly, why should that right be taken away? And that's what it looks like it's trying to be made happen nowadays, especially with the tragic event that happened now more in New Zealand. There was a tragic mass shooting in New Zealand, and our politicians are all over it. All over it. So's the media, good and bad. The unfortunate mass school shootings that we've been having. Again, politicians are all over it. So again, when it comes to defending the life of yourself, your loved ones, your freedoms, the pursuit of happiness, etc., as long as you own responsibly, I believe it's your right to own a weapon. Excuse me, a firearm. I don't like the word weapon. Anyway, that being said, I kind of brought this topic up because I saw something that I disagreed with. Only because I don't think it's going to solve their problem, their particular problem. And what I'm referring to is the Connecticut Supreme Court. And this is from the NewYorkTimes.com. You can check it out, or if you so happen to archive the New York Times and want to check it out for yourself. It is on their March 14th article. So basically, it's about the Sandy Hook shooting that happened, unfortunately. And it titles, Sandy Hook Massacre, Remington and other gun companies lose majority ruling over liability. By Rick Rojas and Kristen Husey. March 14th, 2019. The Connecticut Supreme Court dealt a major blow to the firearms industry on Thursday, clearing the way for a lawsuit against companies that manufactured and sold the semi-automatic rifle used by the gunman in the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The lawsuit mounted a direct challenge to the immunity that Congress granted gun companies to shield them from litigation when their weapons are used in a crime. The ruling allows the case brought by victims' families to maneuver around the federal shield, creating a potential opening to bring claims to a trial and hold the companies, including Remington, which made the rifle, liable for the attack. The decision represents a significant development in a long-time-running battle between gun control advocates and the gun lobby, and it stands to have wider ramifications, experts said, by charting a possible legal roadmap for victims, relatives, and survivors of other mass shootings who want to sue gun companies. Now, while this is tragic, it's sad that in today's day and age, you got someone running into schools shooting children. It's catastrophic. There's no buts. There's no buts here. I'm not going to make a but statement. I don't see what the gun manufacturers being sued would do for these families. I don't see what it's going to do for the families of any other massacre. I don't see what peace of mind it's going to offer. You're going to sue the gun manufacturers that some sick person decide to steal from someone and use in a mass shooting. In this particular shooting, the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, I'm not going to use the word that I want to use because I keep a family-friendly show. The monster who decided to kill his mother, whom legally possessed these firearms, he killed his mother, committed this heinous act, and then pulled the trigger on himself, leaving these families no justice. There's no one to prosecute here. There's no one to throw the book at because the coward took his life after he committed this heinous act, and I agree. It is horrible. But I don't think suing the gun manufacturers is going to do anything. These are the same manufacturers that manufacture for our U.S. military, our police forces, our FBI, our DEA, not just the public. So I don't see how making these people go broke in court, and lawmakers are standing behind this. From what I read, there's going to be some funding behind this. So by making these gun manufacturers go broke in litigation and lawsuits, etc., it's not going to solve the problem. Some people will beg to differ with me. This is only my opinion. So I'll stop with that discussion right there. The Cycleshack Podcast at gmail.com, or answer me on Facebook at the Cycleshack Podcast. Tell me your thoughts and your opinion. Subject: what is your opinion on the families of the Sandy Hook, Connecticut school shooting suing Remington and other gun manufacturers? Send me an email. We'll talk about it. CycleshackPodcast at gmail.com. The email is going to be posted right there. Send me your opinions, guys. Again, I gave you my opinion. Moving on. So, what is this? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I started with the warranty, and I didn't stick in the order of my notes here. So I was rolling around checking out some bikes online, and I ran into, like I always do, looking for material to talk about right here on the show, and I ran into this year's Indian Roadmaster. The 2019 Roadmaster Elite. It's the big boy of the Indian motorcycle ranks. It's their big touring bike, their luxury tourer. And it goes on here to say, and why are these notes getting tossed all over the place here? Indian rolls out the 2019 Roadmaster Elite, and this is from motorcyclecruiser.com by Andrew Cherney, February 26, 2019. And he goes on to say, Indian rolls out 2019 Roadmaster Elite, its ultra premium flagship. This limited edition beauty packs snazzy touring features, with iconic, stylish, and one-of-a-kind finish. Indian rolled out the Roadmaster resurrected the Roadmaster back in 2015. A pretty nifty way to showcase new features, materials, and maybe tell the world that America's first motorcycle company was really serious about the whole luxury touring thing. The new flagship had all the requisite bells and whistles and commanded the top of Indian's touring stable at the time, just like the namesake from the late 1940s. For 2019, Indian is doubling down on the luxury touring game with its top-of-the-line Roadmaster Elite, a modern luxury tourer packed with long-haul amenities and the latest Indian tech of all of its gussed up in iconic styling and premium touches. So there's only 200 limited edition Roadmaster Elites will be available for the North American market. It is same chassis and 65.7-inch wheelbase as the Roadmaster. The Thunderstroke 111 engine. A 600-watt ear-splitting power band audio system. Fairing trunk and saddlebag speakers. 50% louder than the stock one. Dynamic equalizer. 7-inch ride command infotainment system and navigation with Bluetooth capability. What's important here is that it offers Indians, and this is the part I like about Indians, the selectable ride modes, where you can pick between Tour, Standard, and Sport, depending on what you need on the road. It's basically pre-3-set maps that the bike is tuned for: Touring, Sport, and Standard. Standard, obviously speaking for itself, just a standard mapping. Touring for the long haul, and Sport, I guess, for hauling ass. And it goes on and on and on. So let's cut to the chase. Let's look for some pricing here. All right. The Ultra Premium Roadmaster Elite starts $36,999 in the U.S. and retails for $44,499 in Canada. And they're now in Indian dealers. For comparison, the Elite costs $7,500 more than the standard Roadmaster and nearly $7,000 less than the comparable Harley-Davidson CVO Limited. For more information, visit IndianMotorcycles.com. Yeah, they had to throw that in there. It's still an expensive bike, man. $36,999. You know, it's their version of the CVO, and the CVOs are where, yeah, they're over $40,000. I've seen CVOs for $49,000. But it's not a bad bike. I've always said I want to hate Indian so bad, but I got no reason to hate them. They make a nice looking bike. I just get pissed off that Indian had to dump Victory Motorcycles. I think Victory Motorcycles should have stayed around, but that's a whole other subject in itself. So moving on. There you have it, the 2019 Roadmaster Elite. You can check it out. Check out motorcyclecruiser.com or go to indianmotorcycles.com and check out the 2019 Roadmaster Elite. Only, what, I said 300 of them being sold in North America? That's crazy. And in other Indian news, so Indian Motorcycle is coming up for the third year in a row. Raise a glass to Jack Daniels. Limited edition Indian Springfield Dark Horse motorcycle. The latest collab between two iconic brands is the fastest special edition yet. This is by Dan Carney of Maxim Magazine, March 10th, 2019. It's a nice-looking bike, and, of course, I love me some Jack Daniels. For the fourth year in a row, Indian Motorcycles and Jack Daniels have collaborated on a limited edition custom bike paying tribute to America's oldest registered distillery. The Jack Daniels limited edition Springfield Dark Horse is limited to run only 177 of the bikes in tribute to the old number 7 brand of the Tennessee whiskey, specifically single barrel select version. It's going to have its badging and all this other little stuff with the Jack Daniels old number 7, a nice special color, a nice stamp on it with a numeration, number 1 of 177, whatever it is. It's got a nice color scheme. It's going to have a 116 cubic inch engine. The bike's features were created by Clockworks Custom Cycles. And the badging, the gorgeous badging, was created by Montana Silversmiths. Obviously, it's going to have, again, the 116 cubic inch Thunderstroke V-twin. It's a nice looking bike, man. It looks like a Road King almost. Looks like a black Road King. Black and then looks like gunmetal gray or whatever. I'm looking for a price. That's all I care about. You can go to Maxim.com and check it out. Or Indian Motorcycles. Come on, what's the price going to be? Oh, okay. $36,995. So you can get a Jack Daniels or Roadmaster Elite, whatever floats your boat, to all you Indian riders, or would be. Nothing wrong with it, you know what I mean? It's an American iconic brand. That's what counts, right? So, moving on. Harley-Davidson can soon offer electric motorcycles for you to rent in congested cities. I read this, I almost flipped my wig. So Harley-Davidson is going to become one of those scooters that you rent in the city. This is from The Sun by Dan Elsom. The article goes, charging ahead. Harley-Davidson can soon offer electric motorbikes for you to rent in congested cities. In a bid to lead the electrification of motorcycling, the iconic brand has broadened its scope into the e-bike market ahead of the release of the all-electric Livewire. So it's showing some photos of some bikes, etc., etc. Not much to really share. I just thought I'd share it with you. So instead of those, what are those blue city bikes that you can pedal around New York City in, you might be seeing Harley-Davidson electric bikes. Ain't that something? So, wow. I pretty much got all my topics covered. That's cool. The U.S. in the mix for 2019 Harley-Davidson Battle of the Kings competition. The International Harley Custom Build-Off between dealers will include U.S. and Canada this year. This is by MotorcycleCruiser.com, Andrew Cherney, March 19, 2019. Excuse me. I'm actually thirsty, and I didn't bring water with me. That's why I'm yawning a lot. You might assume the biggest custom bike competition in the world is the AMD World Championship, a sprawling event whose next celebration takes place at the 2020 Intermot Show. But perhaps you've also heard of a little shindig called the Battle of the Kings, a sanctioned throwdown between authorized Harley-Davidson dealerships from more than 25 countries to see who can dream up the coolest custom. And it also happens to be one of the largest custom bike competitions on the planet, With the 2019 event already underway and with the U.S. and Canada dealers in the mix this year, the U.S. dealer contest in 2015 and 2016 was known as Custom Kings. You can bet that this showing will be chock full of mind-blowing builds. It works like this. Harley dealers must build a custom Harley-Davidson using a budget no bigger than half the cost of the original model with a specific quota of HD aftermarket parts, 50% being genuine motor accessories. That's cool. I hope they televise something like this. The builders are allowed to choose from 3 style categories. Wow. That sucks. Not the categories, the fact that I'm yawning every 10 minutes. The 3 categories to choose from are dirt, chop, and race. But this year they can use any model from the range, excluding trikes and CVO. The rules may sound restrictive, but in the end, they ensure a level playing field and encourage a good measure of creativity from the builders. Simple, right? And I guess from there, the fans vote online for their favorite custom Harley and each country's favorite bike. So, finalists, 2018, more than 300 dealers. I want to know when this is taking place. Oh, okay. Battle of the Kings is on until April 15th. Check out hd.com. Okay. So it's going on now, and it's going to be announced, I guess, April 15th. Okay. I'd like to see something like that. I hope they have like an expose on it on Harley-Davidson.com where they show like movie skits of bikes being built from all around the world. You know what, guys? I ran through my show. Yep. Indeed, I did. So hopefully pretty soon I'm going to go check out AJ tomorrow at Armsco Custom Cycles. Guy's doing a lot of good things, man. Check him out, armscocustomcycles.com. I want to thank twitch.tv for hosting us live, the Cycleshack podcast at gmail.com. Send me email, questions, comments. Send me your bikes as you're preparing them, man. Send me photographs of your bike to the email. Check us out on Facebook at the Cycleshack Podcast. Hit the link for the blog page, the website, etc. Let's see. Anchor.fm. How could I forget them? The host platform of the Cycleshack Podcast. That's Anchor.fm. And to our new sponsors, the Black Tux at theblacktux.com for all your tuxedo needs. Because, again, getting your tuxedo fitted can be a problem. Make it easy with theblacktux.com. Check them out. Again, I'm Ivan Rodriguez from up in the Hudson Valley. I'm here in beautiful Animal House Studios. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate you. Keep tuning in to the Cycleshack Podcast. I am out of here.